Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
My Little Scythe may have started out as a joke, but let me tell you something. This game ended up being a very good children's game. My Little Scythe takes the world of Scythe, narrows it down, gives you some cute brothers and sister teams of animals, and it gives you everything reduced down. I like that it still feels like Scythe. I feel like I'm playing Scythe. And you know what? I might even say go out and play this with people who aren't used to, as a gateway game to Scythe. They're not used to playing board games. They never played Scythe. Play this one first with them. Say, look, this is a kid's version of it, but it might be an introductory. And once you kind of master what's going on here, I think they can see, okay, let's expand that a little bit into playing Scythe. It does that for me. This is one of the best children games I've ever played. Now, let me suffice that by saying 8 and up on this one, I think. I think my 6-year-old was able to play it, struggle with some of what's going on. He actually did better than my 8-year-old, to be honest, but I think it's because we were coaching him a little bit more. But I would probably say 8 and up if you want to be safe. I think a 6-year-old can play this, but really 8 and up to really grasp what's going on. Now, that's some really cool components. They're really cute. Paint these miniatures up. They look phenomenal. Got a brother and sister team playing together. Some learning things there, like your team wants to play together. What you're trying to accomplish. You're not just trying to do one thing really, really well, but you have to non-specialize. You want to be a little bit good at everything and do 4 of these 8 challenges that you have in the game. Really cool. You feel like you're going on a story, and you can kind of tell a story a little bit of what you're doing here. And we just had a great time. My children were not rolling and moving. They were not spinning a spinner. They were making decisions about what actions they wanted to take and how to bring those actions on the game board to score points to win a game. So there's this line of strategy that's going on, which I think is just phenomenal. This is the difference between having, a really stupid little cartoon movie and you have something that's really smart, almost like Pixar-esque, where they're able to take something, make it for the family, not just for the child, and make it where everybody's having a good time, and it doesn't dumb it down just because they're kids. With that said, I understand why there's rolling moves for a 2-year-old or a 4-year-old, the younger children. I get that. But you don't see a lot of children's games in this age group. I think it's phenomenal that this exists. It's a beautiful looking game. It plays really, really well. It takes a giant game like Scythe and narrows it down and gives to its core so children can play it. It gives them beautiful components, and it never assumes that your child is dumb. Support this game. I really mean that. Support this game for children. Can adults play this? Yes. And that's a big question I hear. Yes, I think adults can play this. It's going to be an introductory game. It's going to be a filler game. It's not going to be an overly complicated game. It's going to be like your Ticket to Ride-esque gateway games. But it can totally be played by adults. It won't be as cutthroat. I think that if you're a gamer and you know who you are, sure, you're going to skip this and go right to Scythe. If you love Scythe and you play Scythe all the time, you're not going to sit around and play this with your buddies, all right? This is like, I'm going to get my sister into a game, and I want to get her to play Scythe in 6 months. I'm going to start here, kind of adult game. That's not to belittle anyone. I'm just telling you how I would use it in a certain sect of the board gaming community, how you may use this game. If you like light fillers and you like really easy Ticket to Ride-esque games, and you're like, man, that is my wheelhouse, try this one out. The components are cute. Yes, it's a kid's game, but I think it's a family-level game. And those are the type of games that you enjoy. There's nothing wrong with that. My Little Scythe could be that. It might be a little bit on the simple side, but I'll tell you what, I think Ticket to Ride is a lot simpler than this game. There's 8 different ways to score a point, and you need 4 of those to win the game. A little more going on here, I think, and a little action thing. I think a little more complicated Ticket to Ride if you ask me personally, but maybe I just play Ticket to Ride a lot. Now, to get a strategy Ticket to Ride, perhaps you might say something different, but I think it's a little bit more going on here, and that is my opinion. This is a complete package, one I highly recommend. If you have kids, grandkids, you play with kids, you're a school teacher, check this game out. This is the game that every child's collection should have. My Little Scythe, absolute keeper, highest seal of excellence for me. Wonderful, wonderful game. Here's My Little Scythe. You can see very beautiful artwork on the front of this. Stonemeyer Games. I mean, just the presentation alone just knocked out the park here. You're going to get a rulebook, which we'll take a look at in a little while. You have an achievement sheet if you like that sort of thing and want to track it. You're going to have a painting guide that will be included if you want to paint these guys up, which is super cute. And we will be utilizing that. You have the solo rules that will be included. You're going to get some player mats. They're flimsy, but pretty good. And they'll be fine. They just sit right on the board. We'll take a look at the board in just a moment. you're going to get a little thing that tells you how to utilize this. And that might seem silly, but putting everything in here was kind of difficult for me. So you're going to get a game trays that will sit inside. Now, I've had this thing upside down. You can see this is what moved. You're going to have your pie things. You're going to put these together. Very good quality. You're going to have your 5 dice, custom dice. You're going to have your sets of cards. These big old blue gems that are amazing. You're going to have these red apples. These things are really cool looking. And you're going to have these big cardboard things that are really nice. And you're going to have some tokens. Okay, so let's take a look at the miniatures, which is going to be amazing for a children's game. So you're going to open this up. The tray will come off. You have these little chits that you'll be utilizing, pies for the pie fights, these little generic pawns. But you are here. Now I'm going to show you one of each because I think they're all pretty much exactly the same. You're going to get 2 of each one. These things are like big, almost chibi-esque, I think is what it's called. Very cool. So that's the red player. Check out with the blue. And I think each one is supposed to be a brother and a sister. And I'm just picking them up because I think they're exactly the same. I don't believe there are any differences, but very neat. I mean, not the most detailed things, but they're big and they're chunky, and kids love it. My kids already love looking at these things, and they're so excited when they bring this game out to play. They really like it. I like this guy with a sickle there. Very cool. And you're going to have enough here of different player colors. My daughter loves purple, so she'll probably be this. I guess this is some kind of critter here. And you have the black and white. This guy's a fox. And you can see the detail. Look at that. And these are very, very thick. You don't have to worry about anything here breaking off. I always say, like the Ghostbusters, the first one where the ghost broke all the time. You can see the little beret here. Very cool. My daughter likes this one too. So that's components. I mean, one of the best I've ever seen for a children's game. This just should blow your mind right out of the water. Let's take a look at the board. If you have played Scythe, this will look kind of familiar. First thing I want to show you is on the back, you're going to see the logo, which is a great addition. You know, a little extra thing that they don't have to do. If you played Scythe, you know about the hexes that you're going to have. You're going to have just a beautiful setting. You're going to have tracks up around, the victory points up there. You're going to have the friendship track. You're going to have all this stuff going on here. Very cool. You're going to have the castle in the center. So very big board. Very beautiful. Very, very, very beautiful. As you can see here, it's hard to get it all in one encompassing shot. But we'll take a look at it. We'll get it all set up, and I'll show you how to play. Here's the rule book. You're going to see a place for 1 to 6, about 45 minutes to an hour. It's about right. It's not for little kids. Even though it's a children's game, 8 up, you need some kids that can read. You're going to have your components over here, how to set up the game. Over here with pictures and how to set it up with different player counts, which is really, really nice. And then you're going to have the how to play. The overview is right here. This is everything you need to know about the player map, what you're doing. And then they'll break everything down with the little rules. Now, this is a children's game, sure, but it's for a little more sophisticated of a child. Definitely need to know how to read, the seek. You're going to have 3 things you can do: move, seek, and make. Trophies is how to score during the game and how to win. If you played Scythe, this is not going to be nothing new. But if your child is new to gaming, this is going to be a little bit over their head, not something you're going to play at Target. Rules are super clear. Didn't have any problems. But really what you want to do is probably about 3 pages of rules, which can be a little bit much for kids if they're not used to something like this. But we're talking about a little bit older kids. 8 plus, kids that can read, kids that can comprehend, and maybe strategize just a little bit. I want to take a moment and tell you how you win this game. If you played Scythe before, this is going to be nothing new. But for kids, this might be a little something. You're going to have 8 ways to try to score a point, let's say. And you need to accomplish 4 of these to trigger the end of the game. So I will show you how they do. This one's very easy. You need to reach 8 on the friendship track. This one here, you need to have 2 different power-ups, 3 spells, 2 quests. You need to deliver 4 apples to the castle, or you need to do the magic gem, which is 4 of those. You need to win 1 pie fight or have 8 pies. At any point you're able to do that, you'll put a marker on it, showcase that you've accomplished this. When you've accomplished 4, the game will end. If you accomplish this and then, like say at 8 pies, now you only have 6, it still stays there. So once you do this once, that game will end, and you'll have to do 4 of those. So that gives you a little bit of different strategies of how to strategize. What am I going to try to do to accomplish at least 4 of those? So this is the player map. This is where we'll be taking your action. You have 3 to choose from. You have move, seek, or make. And inside of those, with move, you have 1 option. With seek, you have 2. And with make, you have 3. When you want to choose an option, you take your pawn, and you would select that action, and that would be the action that you would take. Now, on your next turn, you cannot take the same action. I could take the other seek action, or any one of the 3 make actions, or even the move action. Now, let's go through what each of these sections do. When you press move, you can either move 2 spaces, and you can break that up between the 2 seekers you have on the board, or you can move 1 space, but take all of the apples or gems with you that you want. When you take the seek action, you will take the dice combination, either 2 red, blue, and a yellow, or 2 blue, red, and a yellow, and you will roll those dice hoping to be able to find items out on the board, and they will be generated in the space that you're in. You can also take the make action, which is give up 2 apples to make 2 pies, 2 gems to get a spell, or an apple and a gem to conjure up a power-up. Now, when you get those come from areas on the board that you control. Now that we know how the player mat works, let me show you what the board looks like. Let me show you how movement works. Movement's very easy. I have 2 movement points. I can move one of my guys 2 spaces. I can move each of my guys 1 space. Or I can move one of my guys 1 space, but take all the goodies with them. They will be carrying that, so they will slow down. The second possible action is the seek. I would put a pawn there. I would take 2 red dice, a blue and a yellow, and I would roll those to let me know which area we would go in. So in this case, I would put an apple in the red area. I would put an apple in the white area, and I can choose any of the tiles in that area. I would put a gem in the white area, in any one of these tiles I wanted. And in the blue area, I would put a quest token. I can put that in any one of those areas. They would be placed out on the board. Anybody can go there and get those. And let's say I had an opponent on the board, and I have to place a gem in the white area. If I chose to place it where they're at, then that would give me 1 friendship point. Remember, I need friendship points in order to get a victory on the board. The third possible action is the make. And as I've already explained, you give up 2 apples for 2 pies, 2 gems to conjure a spell, or an apple and a gem to get a power-up. Let me illustrate how this works. So you just have to be in an area. I have 2 apples here. I would get rid of these 2 apples from the space, i.e. spending them, then I would move up 1 on the pie chart. As a quick overview, what you'll be doing is you'll be moving around the board. You'll be generating goods that will pop on the board, preferably moving those into those areas to take control of them. If you happen to be in the same area with another person, you can have a pie fight. Then you would go through the combat system they have in the game, which is very easy to understand. If you attack somebody in the same space as you, you immediately lose 1 friendship because friends would never fight. Then you would each use your pie fight dial, which we created when we unboxed the game. And the dial would look like this. So you would look at your pie chart, see how many you have. So if you're on the 8, then the most you could get rid of would be 7. If you only had 3, the most you give up is 3, 2, or 1. But you would do this secretly so nobody would know what you're getting at. Then you would, if you had any cards you could play, you could do so, and whoever has the highest number would win. Remember, if you win, it checks off one of the boxes for winning the game. If you lose, then you go back to your base and you would no longer be on that spot. Otherwise, you're moving around the board, you're trying to take control of these areas. Sometimes you get into a pie fight, although the game really isn't heavily combat. And you try to get 4 of the 8 end-game qualifications in order to end the game and possibly win. One thing I didn't mention too much were these quests, and you're going to see these on the board. You can do things like help the forest, pay 2 apples and gain 2 friendship and a pie. Remove any 1 apple or quest on the board, do not lose friendship, or gain an apple or gem for visiting, return the quest face down. So these little quests will be put out on the board, and you just try to accomplish what they say. In addition, at the beginning of the game, each player will be given a personality card, something that you'll be trying to accomplish during the game. Earn the trophy on your turn by reaching 7 pies instead of 8. Earn the trophy on your turn by delivering 3 gems instead of 4. So these will just make things easier. Earn the trophy on your turn by receiving 7 instead of 8. So everybody will randomly get one of these at the beginning of the game. That'll just help them accomplish one of the end game conditions. The last thing to discuss is power-ups. And you can get one of these power-ups throughout the game, and they will help you do different things. They'll help you move a little bit quicker, so you can move 2. If you're carrying something, you can move 2 with a wagon. Let's see another one. As one of your moves, move one of your seekers directly to your other seeker, then gain a heart. So these will help you to do little things. And you can upgrade up to 2 of these. You can get 1 move and 1 make. And here are some of the upgraded make cards. You can see 1 apple will cost 2 pies, 2 and everything else is the same. Or you can get 2 apples, gives you 2 pies and a heart. Everything else is the same. 2 apples, and you make 3 pies instead, etc. And there's enough of these to go around that everybody can get 2 upgrades. And that is how you play My Little Scythe. You move around the board, you try to meet the objectives, and it's a really cool game for little kids. This is a masterpiece in my mind, and it does feel like Scythe miniaturized. It does feel like Scythe Junior. It does feel like a kid's version of Scythe. They've done a fantastic job with it. You should buy this game. Every child's collection should have it. Every family should have it. If you got kids, you should really enjoy this game. Grandkids, it should be brought out. This could be a gateway game for some people. I think there's a lot here. If you got something you're like, man, I don't think they'd be able to grasp Scythe or a game of that level. Start here. This is a miniaturized version of it. Cute parts. I get that it was designed for kids. But I really think it could be a filler also with some teeth. So give that as you will. For me, absolute keeper. I hope people support this game. I hope people buy this game. It is a darn good game. It's good for kids. It's good as a gateway. It's a stepping stone in the side for a lot of people. Like it a lot. I think it will stand the test of time. Absolute keeper. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel. Lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.